We're scared. We just want to go in and get our kid.
He said so far he's safe, so we're just waiting to see what's going on.
A shooting paralyzes Timberview High School in Mansfield ISD.
The good news is our suspect is in custody. Timothy Simpkins is in custody. This is not somebody attacking our schools. This is a student that got into a fight and drew a weapon.
There are multiple injuries reported, including students.
We grieve for everyone who's been harmed or impacted by this in any way whatsoever.
I can't wait to hug my son because somebody is not going to be able to do that today.
WFAA News at 6 begins live in Arlington with my co-anchor Chris Lawrence.
Yeah, it has been a terrifying day here at Timberview High School. You say the word school shooter, it is like a gut punch for moms and dads. And I can tell you right now, police officers are still posted all around the school right now. And we have seen several families, moms, dads, getting their kids going home for the night. The suspected shooter is a teenager himself, and he is in custody. 4 people were injured, including a teenage boy who's just out of surgery, a teenage girl who looks to be okay, as well as an English teacher in good condition and a pregnant woman who was treated here on the scene. Now, take a look at this school from HD Chopper 8 this morning. We know the kids had only been in class about an hour when Arlington police got the call about a shooting on the 2nd floor. Investigators tell us it happened during a fight between the suspect and another student. Now, if you're not familiar with this area, Timberview High School is part of Mansfield ISD. It's on South Watson Road and 360 in Arlington, a little bit just north of Debbie Lane. Officials immediately put this school on lockdown. Students, staff members locked in offices and classrooms. In fact, a 15-year-old student named Addison Wright took this video showing her classmates huddled in place. We're also hearing from teachers like Dale Topham, who says he barricaded his classroom door after shots were fired just down the hall.
Me and the students heard was a bunch of gunfire. We just, turned off the lights and got out of sight and tried to go through the normal lockdown procedures.
Now, obviously, there is a lot to this story, but the one question I know that everybody's asking, did everybody get out safely? And the bottom line is yes, they did. Obviously, this has been very traumatizing for some of the teachers and students who were involved. Our Scoop Jefferson has been talking with some of them, and he's going to be bringing us some of their viewpoint just a little bit later. But I also want to tell you a little bit more about the suspect. Police searched hours to find the 18-year-old young man, Timothy Simpkins. He is in custody right now, facing multiple charges, and our investigative reporter, Tanya Iser, is digging into his background. But we also need to update you on the actual victims. All 3 people who were brought to the hospital are expected to be okay. So let's run down a little bit of what we learned about each of them. The Arlington PD says a teenage girl suffered some abrasions, but we're told she will be discharged today. A young English teacher named Calvin Pettit was also injured. He's in the hospital, but has been upgraded to good condition. A 15-year-old boy is facing the most severe injuries. He is in critical condition at Medical City Arlington and was taken into surgery earlier today. In fact, he's still in the ICU right now. It is hard to understate exactly what students and their parents went through. I want to bring in my colleague, Rebecca Lopez, because you were one of the first reporters here on the scene. Walk us through what you saw and heard.
Chris, it was chaos. It was just really heart-wrenching because parents were running up to the school. We also had police officers from multiple agencies who were rushing here to the scene. And actually there were 2 resource officers inside the school, and they actually heard the gunshots. A massive police response as officers surrounded Timberview High School just after 9:30 Wednesday morning.
Bop, 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 bop. And that's when my teacher was like, nobody move.
Ismail Juma is a student and was just down the hall when the shooting started.
They said lockdown, lockdown. So we knew it was in no drill. And plus we heard the shots, like I said. And so we all just knew to turn off the lights, go hide in the corner.
He says he couldn't believe it was happening.
For someone to bring a gun to school and to let it off, that's just something, I didn't ever think that was going to happen.
Parents were frantically trying to reach their children. This mom was at the scene in minutes.
They really don't know what's going on.
God, you must be terrified. This is the parents' worst nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
Police say just prior to the shooting, school resource officers were responding to a distress call in a classroom. As they were making their way there, shots rang out.
The police officers immediately went to that classroom. And I can tell you that one police officer heard the shots as he was going up there. They were on scene, quickly responding to this incident and trying to render aid.
The suspect, 18-year-old Timothy Simpkins, managed to get out of the school. He was with his attorney when he turned himself into Arlington police around 1:15, 4 hours after the shooting. Grand Prairie police believe they found the gun used in the shooting about 2 miles away.
Our officers have transported a weapon they located in the street. We cannot confirm yet that it is the weapon. We believe it may be the weapon.
There are no metal detectors at the school. Mansfield ISD says they opted to put school resource officers in every school instead.
No, ma'am, we do not have those in place, but the entire situation will be assessed and evaluated. And for us as a district, we're always looking at ways in which we can improve and get better.
Police say while they were trying to catch the shooter, they had to divert resources to deal with threats coming into other campuses. They sent out a warning.
I've got a call to action for parents. Take a look at your kids' social media. If they're putting out threats on their schools, they're going to be arrested and they're going to be prosecuted.
The school is now a crime scene and the FBI is conducting the forensic investigation. And one of the students that we talked to, he said he had just talked to the student that was shot. They had been talking prior to class about getting snacks and having lunch, something that they probably do all the time. And then minutes later, the shots rang out. So he says he just couldn't believe it. And as I told you earlier, when I got here, families were trying to find out information about the students, and eventually they were reunited with their parents. I can only imagine it was so emotional.